or not. I don't know, man. The whole thing about this was I had a fantastic day, and I was debating on not doing cigars again. And it's a beautiful sunset, but YouTube is not allowing that to really be shown right now. Like everything right here is washed out. I don't know if I can kind of move a little bit so you guys can see Fuji right there. You can see like the sunset. Like it's a gorgeous sunset. Like you guys really can't experience what I'm experiencing right now. So the whole thing behind me doing this live right now, most of you guys on the East Coast are asleep. If you're on the West Coast, you've been asleep for a minute. You just really got to sleep. So you're going to be asleep for a while. So unless I got some international viewers, this thing is probably going to be completely a wash. But y'all know me. I'm not too worried about that. Like I don't mind getting up here and just chopping it up and talking. Gotta make sure my mic is still on. Yeah, I tried to charge it as much as I could. So I'm gonna go until my mic dies out, and I'm gonna have to keep checking on that. So you're probably gonna see me checking on that throughout this whole thing. I can't believe I got at least 2 people to join and a like already. I'm actually surprised at that. Super surprised. But the main reason why I got on, y'all know I enjoy doing these lives now. And it's also nice because YouTube is starting to allow, pardon the wind, starting to allow like the super chats. It's starting to allow us to really, be able to make some revenue and all that kind of stuff off of this. Hey W, what up? Good morning. You are bright and early on that end. Hope everything is all good. So I just had like a wonderful day. So what I wanted to do was just kind of kick back, kind of talk to y'all, smoke a nice cigar while the sun sets. So you guys can just kind of just have a nightcap with me. You guys are waking up, you're gonna be stretching, doing your whole thing, and I'm just kind of winding down. So you just knew I was up at nearly 3 a.m. Hey, look, man, I'm here for the people. I'm trying to be Mr. 24/7. So if you up at 3 a.m., why not enjoy a cigar with your boy, right? What's wrong with that? That's kind of the way to do it. This thing is, I've been dry boxing this thing for like 2 weeks. And there's nothing dry about this at all. I hope this lights up the way it should. But what up though, Kyle? I'm chilling, man. I had a wonderful day, man. That's why I popped on, man. I walked through the woods. You can see those woods that are back there. If you walk through there, it takes you over to this beach right here. This is Zushi Beach. So we've been kicking it all day, man. We kicked it at the beach, just me and the kids, catching some sun, catching some waves, people chilling. It's a lot of Dominicans were out there at the beach. There was a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of Brazilians. So they had some lomo saltado out there. They had some tacos. It was just a lot of good food, a lot of Japanese food, a lot of soba, and so we just chilling on the beach. We got onigiri, the whole nine. So I was like, man, after a day like that, I just want to have a nice cigar to cap it off and watch the sunset. So I said, what better to do than come back on YouTube and have the anybody that's up right now just chill and watch the sunset with me. You feel me? That's really all this is, man. I'm just gonna talk shit like I normally do. If you guys got anything that's on your bird, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk about this Don Patron that I got in hand that I've been waiting to smoke for a while. I got another one I'm gonna do for a review. Somebody asked me, was I gonna smoke this recently? So I said, yeah, why not? Yeah, took my son to Sky Zone last night, 3 a.m. Sunday in California. Shouts out to you. Wait, Sky Zone, is that the trampoline park? Is that what that is? John Lewis, what up? Yeah, I'm just chopping it up with you. I feel like it's a stem in here, man. Anyway. So what y'all gonna do right now is just look over the Sagami Bay. That's Enoshima Island right there. That's Fuji. You can barely see it. Oh, boom. There you go. That's Fuji right there. Enoshima. So, smoking a Supreme Leaf. Nice choice for tonight, man. Well done. Well done. So, y'all just going to kick it with the kid, man, and we going to watch the sunset. Let's see. If you like that, could break a bank, man. I know, and I'm getting it for free, bro. I can't. I can't. What can I say, man? This is one of the luckiest things that ever happened to me in my life, bro. And I try to make the best of it, and I try to share it with y'all as much as I can. Which Supreme Leaf you got? Do you know which Matola? Anybody else lighting up at 3 in the morning? What y'all doing, man? What did I think of it? The Don Carlos Eye of the Shark? That's my absolute favorite cigar of all time. Like there is no cigar that is touching that cigar to me. Nothing even close. The extra añejo shark that I had the other day, the number 77, was really good. The one that was really aged, it was good. It was a really nice cigar. I prefer it if it's a little bit fresher. I didn't get as many of like those, cherry notes that I would normally get out of it. So that kind of disappointed me a little bit. But it was outside of that, man. It was very smooth, and it was just nice to be able to smoke an aged cigar like that. So I got no complaints. So you guys got to keep me on point. You got to tell me, make sure my microphone doesn't go out on me. I'm trying to keep it charged up, but technology does technology. So you got the 2023. That's the Parejo that you got, AW, for the Supreme Leaf. Okay, okay, got you. I like that cigar. You've had some time to give it some age, so hopefully it's better. I know Cigar Hound Dog didn't have as good of an experience with it as I did, but I enjoyed that cigar, man. Working overnight front desk. Oh, so hey, man, if you sit in the front desk, man, you can just get there, chill with me, watch the sunset, man, and enjoy the Don Patron with me. Okay, you think of pulling the trigger on an Ida Shark? Look, I'm gonna tell you like this: there are not too many cigars that I'm gonna spend $30 for. It's not many at all. And you guys heard us talk about that on the different lives and different shows and all that kind of stuff. I don't, like I kind of have my pocket of where I'm gonna spend for value and premium cigars. Ida Shark is the one that I go out to buy just for me. Usually on my birthday, or if it's something I'm celebrating or something like that. The Ida Shark and the Julius Caesar Shark E2 Brute, I will spend money on those cigars. They're fantastic. It's nothing touching them to me, but that's just for my palate. That's just gonna be for me in the way that I dig it. It reminds me of a spicy raisin for the Supreme Leaf. That's what I said too. If you go back to my early review of the Supreme Leaf, that's exactly what I said too. I haven't gotten it I didn't get it as much with the Parejo, but it was in there a little bit, and I did enjoy that. But with the Robusto and with the Bellicoso, yeah, see, I'm trying to go back in my memory, but the Robusto and the Bellicoso, especially if it is at the right temp, that raisin note is probably one of the most prominent you ever get out of a cigar, and that's one of the most beautiful things. That was one of my favorites for a long time for that reason. So let me do it this way, man. Since I was just coming up here to talk about my day and just kind of, enjoy the ambiance and stuff like that. What are y'all looking forward to? Since you guys are in the chat, we got 5 of y'all in the chat. What's been that thing that's kind of keeping y'all going? What are y'all trying to Okay, this is what I'm trying to get. This is what I want to explore. This is what I want to buy for myself and what I want to smoke. I'm gonna try out Fuente Esquisito. I don't think I know that one. Not really sure if I know what that's about. Esquisito. Is that one of the? It's not one of the Opus X, is it? Is it an Opus? That's, I know I've seen it. I just don't know it by name. Why you guys doing that? This is one of the most interesting flavor profiles that I've had in a while. I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. It's like uh, it's a bready quality, but it's. Have you ever had those crackers that are like chicken crackers or whatever? They got chicken bouillon in them or something like that. I can't think of the name of them, but they give you like a very umami, a very it's almost like chicken stock in a cracker. I can't think of the name of that cracker, but that's something that I'm getting here. Is you get a very much of a cracker taste, but it's a very savory umami flavor that's on this thing, and it stands out. That's really unique, man. It's really good. That's a like I was not expecting something like that, and it's a very open draw. I don't know if it feels like it's going to be an open cigar. Like you can feel that like the texture of this is kind of soft all the way through, and sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes you get like with the number 9 from Drew Estates, that the draw is a little too open for me. They don't feel like it's enough resistance in there, and it's just like just too much. Even if you're not getting a lot of smoke, you just feel like you're drawing through a straw. This is not that. Oh, nothing special. It's a $5 stick. Okay, that's probably why I'm not really familiar with it. Okay, bet. You say you want to try the ESG torpedo. I think that is highly recommended, man. I really enjoyed the ESG, the VSG as well too. I think that's what like here's the thing. Like, don't get bent up out of shape for the price of that cigar. Some of these you got to go out and really like try them, to really see if it's going to be worth it. You know, that's what we're here for as the reviewers and all that. Kind of we're doing the reviews of all these different cigars. You can go to Hound Dogs. You can go to, you can go to Master Your Ash. You can go to Cigar Show Tim. You can go to Cigars Daily. You can go to whomever. You can go to all these different cats and kind of get a feel for that cigar, kind of get a feel for the price range. On my channel, I try to do a lot of different things to kind of give you price and buyer's guides and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes you got to be willing to spend the money and just try for yourself to see if it's really going to work out. You got to really see if this is going to be something that's really going to be beneficial to you. That's going to make it like is spending your money on a Symmetry or a VSG going to be worth your while. And for me, I think so. And you guys give me a thumbs up just to make sure my mic is still rolling right now. I don't want to just be rambling and talking to y'all and there's no mic there. Man, this is so unique, man. I wish I knew how to describe this better. I wish if I wasn't doing it live, I think I could get this a lot better. Like, but that it's not a rye bread. It's more like a cracker. It's a dry bread. It's not sweet. Interesting. I'm sitting on one Julius Caesar at Itu Brut. Don't sit on that cigar too long, man. You really gotta like that's a cigar that I absolutely love, man. You want chocolate notes out of that joint. You wanted something that's gonna be creamy, give you just the right balance of spicy on that. That is a fantastic cigar, dude. You know, see, I'm listening to your previous live, and you was on the subject on hip hop. What have you been listening to these days? Man, appreciate you for checking that one out, man. That was a fun live. I really haven't been listening to a lot of hip hop lately, and that's what's kind of crazy. Like somebody was getting on me because I haven't listened to Killer Mike yet. I was talking about that there, and I still haven't listened to it yet. But it's one of those things where I haven't been in the mood for hip hop. So when I am listening to music, I've been putting my daughter on to like a lot of classic stuff. I just put her on to Michael Jackson. I put her on to Janet. I put her on to Bobby Brown. I put her on the New Edition. Like, so I kind of been in that 90s vibe. I put her on to Sade. and like just kind of introducing. My daughter's 8 years old, so like to see her like listening to the stuff that I was listening to and really vibing and doing some of the dance moves and all that, that's really been making me happy, man. I see you too, North Carolina 252-919 in the house. Shouts out. um the only rapper that I really listened to, I think a whole album for, was Tyler the Creator recently. um it's just it's been hard for me to really like get into people. I kind of dug into Pusha T and Jim Jones just to see what they doing back and forth. Jim Jones surprised me, man. Jim Jones actually put together some decent bars, man. Jim Jones was like getting at it. So I want to see what Pusha T is gonna do when he comes back right now. Um, Jadakiss, I've been talking about Jadakiss a lot lately, man, just because I'm fascinated by what he's been doing in his maturity. And Jada skill set has just been phenomenal to me. But the downside to it is, it's just like I haven't really been feeling the fact that he can't change his flow too much. But I still love to hear what he says. I still love to see how he puts together his bars. So that's been meaning a lot to me. I find myself listening to more instrumentals these days. I don't really get into the instrumentals, but I've been on like uh 80s yacht rock and 80s synth, like Flock of Seagulls and just like weird shit like that. Like, but really, man, I've been on a different plane. Like hip hop, the current stage of hip hop right now is just not fascinating me. Even some of the old heads. I know Nas is still spitting. Andre 3000 when he pops up is still spitting. Jay when he pops up does something good. I was talking about Kendrick and I wasn't really feeling his last album. That disappointed me a little bit, man. So it's like, and all these little people, Little Pump, little whatever. When they kill XXX Tentacion and they kill Nipsey, like they killed something in me with hip hop. Like, cause those are the two dudes that I really thought was gonna be the future. No pun intended with future, but it took something from me, man. And like I really haven't been able to connect with hip hop since then, other than Tyler. This tastes like coffee. It has a lot of sugar in it. Ah, that's delicious. That sounds pretty good. I'm not a coffee drinker, but like I can see how that works for a cigar. I like getting coffee notes in my cigar. Julius Caesar E2 Brute, coughing. Can you get that in any cigar shop? I don't know about any cigar shop, man. You got to find out like who's carrying JC Newman. They're usually gonna have it, but honestly, if you go online, you can find it. Like you're probably gonna have go to my top 10 and the part 1 and part 2 of online shops. I'm pretty sure one of those places is gonna have that. But that's one of those sought after cigars. So you got to kind of, make your way around. But it's still out there. You can find that for sure. Push is gonna reply and kill Jim Jones. I hope so, man. But I'm hoping that because I love Push, and Jim has matured recently. So Jim is kind of reaching his prime as an MC right now at 50, which is weird. So it might be some pushback with that Jim Jones Push thing, man. And it might be one of those like, yo, Push got knocked out. This mug, he beat Lil Wayne, he beat Drake, and Jim Jones took him out. It might be one of those. He said Neptune has it. Word up. So y'all know Neptune is like my spot, man. Really. I love Fox cigars. I love small batch, but Neptune is like that's my go-to, man. Oh, they said it ran out. Keep pushing though. It's out there somewhere. The body of the smoke on this cigar is crazy, man. Look at this. Check this out, yo. Tons of smoke. I love that. And it's not burning super fast. Love that. Shouts out to Don Patron on this one. Lampert get busy, man. I was able to pick up for $28. Yeah, I mean that's pretty reasonable for that cigar. It's the thing is, man, it's like any of those sharks you're gonna come out of pocket for. You're gonna spend a little bit of money for the shark. And it's not too many cigars and just based on a Vitola that's worth it. But I haven't had anything that's in that shark Vitola that hasn't been phenomenal. You know what I mean? And if I'm talking about burn, I'm talking about flavor, I'm just talking about the way it feels in the hand, I'm just talking about like all of the components that you're gonna put into what makes a cigar good is there. So if it's gonna be like that, then okay, then it's gonna be worth some money. You got all these like brands right now that are just slapping, 30, 40, $50, things on cigars, and they're just doing it just because they know the market is up right now. And that you got all these new people coming into cigars, you got all the cigar collectors that are out there. So they're gonna dump all of this extra money in, and they want all of us, hey, pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me. But I need to get something back if I'm putting that kind of money in there. And for me, this is just my opinion, I really feel like the shark is going to give something back to you. Andalusian Bull, I feel like, look, here's the thing. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that, Patrick. So this is why this works. With the Bull, you're going to get 2 hours out of that cigar. I smoke fast, and that cigar still lasts me damn near 2 hours. And it tastes good. It's a Cuban-esque experience that you're going to get from a New World cigar. You get this unique Salomon Vitola, and that thing burns so slow. So if you're going to if you're just thinking about time that you're putting into a cigar, and then money, so your time is money, right? So if you're thinking about that, you're going to get your money's worth out of that cigar. If you got time to really kick back and enjoy a cigar, Andalusian Bulls is one of the best ones. And if you guys go to my page, I did a top 10 slow burners on that. I think I put Andalusian Bull #1. And that's one of those things, like, you're going to get a long, slow burn out of that. You're going to get your money out of it. If you're going to sit back and you're going to watch the sunset, or if you're just going to kill time and you hanging with your friends, that's going to be one of the cigars that you can burn and burn and burn and really get to enjoy it. So that is, it's well worth whatever money and the time it takes to find those cigars. I think it's well worth it. Let's see. I have Julius Caesar Pyramid from CRA Pack 2023. Okay, look, it's still going to be a very good cigar. The Shark is my favorite, but that's still a very good cigar. And I love the Julius Caesar. I had a Robusto the other day. It wasn't as good, but it's still a delicious cigar. It's well worth it. The prices are ridiculous, but my ego wants to try the Toro Fuente God's Whisper and Angel Share. So with the Angel Share, I didn't like it very much. And somebody mentioned the other day that with Opus X, they all kind of starting to taste the same. And I kind of agree with that a little bit. I was like, when they said that, I was like, a light bulb went off. And I was like, you know what? I kind of feel you on that. But John, Cigar Alchemist, smoked that cigar. And he said that was one of the best experience that he's had with a cigar in quite some time. So my thing is, it's like, look, it's not about ego. This is about, like, this journey is about finding these cigars that work for you, that you're going to put in your humidor, that you're going to smoke on a regular basis, and you're going to be able to enjoy. So if it's worth it to you, you got it, and it's not going to hurt your pockets, and it's not going to set you back from enjoying yourself, then go spend your money on that and see if that's going to be your lane. I doubt you'll be doing that on a regular basis, but at least do that for something that you're really that curious about. Get it out the way. See how that works for you. And because for me, God of Fire was a beautiful cigar from Toro Fuente. I enjoyed that whole thing. I haven't had the God's Whisper yet, but I did have the Angel Share, and it's one of those things that is worth risk, trying to see how it's going to work. The 23 pack was fire. Okay, so that's money. Shouts out to you on that one, Cal. And I tried the Villa Casdagli sweet tobacco. You probably missed it. Like, I have had it before, but I did the other day. Like, I had two Casdaglis. I had the Daughters of the Wind that was sent out to me, and I had the Villa. And I think I commented on it. I smelled the thing. I was like, yo, that smells like raw tobacco. I was so excited for it, right? So, I smoked the Daughters of the Wind that was unbanded first, and I enjoyed that cigar. But it started to rain. I was doing this, and it started to rain. So I threw the Villa into my hoodie, and I ran downstairs. I grabbed all of my stuff and ran downstairs, and I took the hoodie off and I threw it in the dirty clothes. So when I did laundry, I washed that Villa Casdagli, B. God damn it. I'm still pissed at myself for doing that. So I got to light up another one, man. And I'll tell you all about it. Jerome, what's good, man? What's cracking? So, are y'all sports people? Y'all into sports at all? Is that something y'all get into? And the reason why I ask, man, is just because while we here, while we smoking a cigar, while I'm talking to y'all, it's bright and early for y'all. Have y'all seen all the stuff that's going on with ESPN and everybody that just got fired? What y'all think about that? Y'all got any opinions on that? Does it matter to y'all? It's crazy to me just because they hire some of the best people, and it's really kind of messed up like my viewing experience as a sports fanatic. When they fired Jalen Rose, man, I was like, what? They should see you popped up with it like right away. They shouldn't have fired Jalen. Like, but like that felt personal to me. It felt personal the way they got rid of Jaden, and I heard it was something that I know they were cutting costs, but it's more than just cutting costs, yo. They definitely they was trimming because all those people they got rid of make dough. But Stephen A is still there, right? And JJ still there. Molly Karam's still there. You got like Scott Van Pelt. They ain't get rid of Scott. Scott been there for how long? So I don't know, man. That was a wild one. Like I said, not a sports guy, but I heard how many people they were letting go, and it made me feel something fishy is in the background. It's definitely something fishy. And I know they're trying to get Shannon Sharp. They trying to get Shannon Sharp. Perk is still there. Like, how is Perk still there? But you know they're not paying Perk the same way they were paying Jalen Rose. His ex-wife, Molly probably wanted, and they were saying it was something with him and Malika too. That was something that was happening behind the scenes. I don't think it was. I didn't get the full story of what was happening with him and Malika, but there was some tension with them too. So I think they kind of helped push him out the door. So I'm wondering now if it's gonna be like a Grantland reunion. It's gonna be like him, Jacoby. He used to have a show with Jalen and Jacoby, and Bill Simmons. Messi, what up? What up, baby? So I wonder if it's one of those things, man, where he's going to go back. This thing is getting sweet now. It's not like it's almost like a sugar cookie. That's it. That's what I'm kind of getting out of this. The whole time I'm talking to y'all, I keep getting this note in my head, and it's like it keeps reminding me of something. It's a sugar cookie. That's what it is. They cleared the salary cap to recruit. I really think that's what they did, B. I really think because I think they want to get Shannon and Stephen A together, and then probably do something work him with JJ, and then kind of have like this super team, and then they're competing with Fox Sports, and they want to put in the face of Skip Bayless. That's what I think is happening. But like, yo, you cut all those people, like something in there is like personal, man. It was just wild to me, and just to do that, like they get all the NBA stuff out of the way, they do most of the NBA draft, they do most of the NBA the free agency and all that kind of stuff, and the NHL is kind of coming to a rest. There's no NFL right now, and then they just over the weekend they just dump all of these people. That's crazy to me, bro. That's absolutely wild. All these boys can get a hell of a podcast back. But see, Jalen already got a podcast. He got the Renaissance Man. So he's gonna be fine on that. But Jeff Van Gundy is the one that was kind of like, what? That when they had Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, and Mark Jackson, like when I'm watching the playoffs, those are the people like I want to hear Jeff. Like, I don't know. I think some people get annoyed with Jeff Van Gundy, but personally, when those cats are together, thank y'all for hitting that like button too. Shouts out to you for that. But when those cats are together, for me, that's when it really feel like something is cracking. Like you're laughing. They know basketball. They can riff off of each other. Why would you break up that chemistry? Like what? I can't wait to hear what like Jeff Van Gundy got to say. Like when he go on like somebody podcast, he go on JJ Redick podcast or something like that. It's gonna be interesting. What do you think about Dame possibly going to the Heat? That's a great question. They said John said they would join Fox. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people want to mess with that. But like when that money start talking, then they probably will join Fox. I'm kind of interested to see who's gonna go over to Skip Bayless. So let me get back to Dame too. So the thing about Dame, man, Dame in a tough situation because he's a valuable point guard, right? But most of the point guard positions are already full, and you can see that the Heat are trying to clear space to get him. But who are they gonna have to really give up to get Dame? And that's the thing. You got to give up some pieces because of Dame's contract is so huge, and he's such a big name. Like the thing about Portland is like they don't have to let him go right now. The only reason why they would really let him go is because Dame spent so many years, he's been loyal for so long that you just got to show love to your best player and just gotta put him in a place where he want to be because you don't want to burn that bridge. But at the same time, is he really going to get to the Heat? And then like they got rid of Strus and they got rid of Caleb Martin. So they made room for him, but at the same time, you got rid of some of your best young players. Like you got rid of the chemistry. They still got Tyler. They got to move Tyler or Duncan. I just like, okay, so you still got a shooter with Dame, and you still got that slasher playmaker with Butler. Both of them tough as nails. Then you got Bam in the middle, so you still got a good team all the way around. But those pieces that they got rid of, man, like those extra wings, I don't know, man. That's gonna be fascinating, bro. But didn't ESPN get new leadership? I'm not really sure what happened with the leadership, man, at ESPN. I mean, all that stuff is being run by Disney right now. I'm not really sure. Honestly, I don't know. AW said, man, I love Jeff Van Gundy speaks raw facts about the refs. Like, he throw out some harebrained stuff sometimes, and sometimes the stuff that he's saying is like pure genius. But that's one thing that was like the best about Van Gundy, man. He spoke from the heart all the time. And he was witty with it on top of that. So I love Jeff Van Gundy, man. Stan Van Gundy get on my damn nerves, but I love Jeff. But I don't know, man. I just, and the thing is, they still got Stan. Like I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's happening at ESPN, man. It's wild. He said they moved the whole bench. And you got a lot of these basketball teams that are doing that right now. You saw what you saw the Nets did that before. You saw what happened with that. That didn't look good. And then the Phoenix Suns did that to get booked with KD, and then they just got Bradley Beal, and they got rid of their whole bench. I don't know how that's gonna work. And like these top heavy teams, I know when the Miami Heat did that years ago, and they got LeBron and they had Bosh with Wade and all that kind of stuff. Like they still had some depth on that team. They still had a necessary point guard. Chalmers wasn't the best, but he was still a necessary point guard. And they had UD when he was actually still a basketball player, playing defense. Like they still had a squad. These teams are just dumping everybody just to get these superstars, and they're not going anywhere. And even my squad, the Golden State Warriors, like they cleaning house right now. This is gonna be a whole new team. I'm glad they still got the core, but we still ain't got a big man yet. I mean, okay, yes, I know we got Looney, and I understand that, but we need a big man that can actually like put the ball on the floor and actually put up some shots too. We need the rebounds. That's a great thing, but how are we gonna be able to play against Boston if we get all the way there? How are we gonna play against the Lakers? How are we gonna play against the Clippers? Like, I don't know how this is gonna work, man. It's gonna be kind of crazy. I don't think they can move away from AD, man. And honestly, with the Lakers, Kyle talking to Lakers, I don't think they can necessarily do that. I know he's injury prone, but honestly, AD, he was up and down, but when AD was on, man, he was really on. And you need a big man. You needed somebody that can play in the post. You need somebody that can spread the floor. You need somebody that can rebound. AD was doing all of that. And LeBron, like, I'm not a LeBron fan, so I'm going to go ahead and let that be known right now. But it ain't enough PEDs in the world that's going to keep him up right now. His body is not going to maintain for a whole season. So you're going to need AD. They can't just get rid of him like that. Golden State, they like playing small ball. They can't continue to play small ball though. There's too many big men in the league right now, and there's too many athletic big men that's in the league right now, and they killed on the boards. It's cool when they can move the ball fast, but I'm glad they got rid of Poole, but they need to put somebody that like to be able to follow up behind Looney and to be able to play some minutes where they can play regular ball and then switch to small ball. And that's the thing with the Golden State. That's what made them good before. They used to have Bogut, they used to have Zaza, and they had some big men that could pass and move the ball and get rebounds. And then when they can switch them boys out when they get tired and then put Dre in, and Dre was younger, Dre could run the floor and they could put Iguodala in and they or Sean Livingston, and then they could run that small ball that way, and then they could just keep rolling. They can't do that now. They need some stability, and they need somebody that can like get the ball down low and then get Clay and Steph open. But we're gonna see how that rolls. Can't go against Denver without a big. Exactly, AW. Like, yo, when you got a big like that, and you got Giannis to deal with, and you got AD to deal with, and then you got Grizzlies to deal with, and then you got DeAndre Ayton, and I could go on and on. They need a big right now, and I've been begging these cats for the past 2 years, even when they won the championship, to please get another big man to go with Looney, please. And we thought we had Wiseman, man, but that dude, he was so great, it wasn't gonna work. Said, what's up with Zion? Does he not have the mental strength to be where he is? Every time I hear about him is off the court actions. No, he doesn't have the mental strength. He doesn't have the mental strength to maintain the health that he needs and to be in the shape that he needs. And he out here messing with these young Johns, man. It's gonna take him for every dime that he got, man. It's gonna be a problem. He's a good kid. And he seems like he's an intellectual. Like when you talk to him, he's articulate. He carries himself well. But being that young and that famous, I think it got to him, man. And he can't stay on the court because his body, like I've been saying for a long time, he's going to be like Greg Oden. His body's just not going to hold up, and that's going to be the major problem. So aside from the mental stuff that he's going with, you got the mental stuff with like knowing that his body is not going to be able to keep him on the floor. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be a pretty dangerous tale with Zion, man. That's gonna be a problem. Philly had the best chance to win it all. No, they didn't. Any team with James Harden is gonna be a mess, man. I hate James Harden, and that's a teammate that I would never like to have, man. Any team with James Harden is gonna be a problem. So, and I knew he was gonna ask off of this team too, and I called it probably like sometime early last year. Actually, when he went to Philly, I called it. And I knew this was going to happen. If you're disgruntled on every team that you're on, then it's you that's the problem, and that's Harden. So yeah, good luck with Philly, man. I feel sorry for any Philly fans that's out there. AD ain't been on in 6 years. No, AD was balling, bro. And y'all wouldn't have got that championship for the Lakers if AD wasn't there. LeBron didn't do that. AD did it. So nah, man. I can't. Like, I know he's fragile, but I can't shit on him at all, man. He is injury prone. I know. My man said y'all can have AD. Yo, honestly, you think about this though. Remember when we had for the Warriors? So I'm saying we like remember the Warriors had Boogie Cousins. Imagine Boogie Cousins or JaVale McGee. Imagine Boogie Cousins or JaVale McGee. Put them together, you got AD. Imagine AD with the Warriors. I would love to have him because he wouldn't have to be on the court the whole time because we could put Loon out there. He wouldn't get hurt all the time. I would love to have AD, but we got stuck with Chris Paul. I don't know how that's gonna work. That's gonna be crazy. Who is in my all-time starting five? All time. So let me go with point guard. Point guard is gonna be Steph Curry, hands down. Two guard, super easy. The GOAT, Michael Jordan. Who would be my number three? That's a tough one. I would probably go, dang, the 3 is the hardest position to fill for me. Small forward. Bird. Put Larry Bird in there. Power forward. Giannis. Center. That's easy. Hakeem Olajuwon. I love the dream. That would probably be it. It's hard for me to leave out Bill Russell, and it's hard for me to leave out Hakeem. Kareem, but I'm gonna go with the dream on that one. That's probably gonna be it for me. Nah, there ain't no such thing as off topic. So I'm gonna get there too. So good luck with your Hawks, man. Your Hawks are in trouble. You ever mess with the San Cristobal Quintessence Majestic? I got it downstairs. I haven't smoked it yet. I do have it, but I haven't smoked it yet. That's coming. That was tough, man. I did that off the cuff, man. I wasn't sure how that top 5 was gonna go. That was a tough one. Off topic, but is that Mount Fuji in the background? Yes, that is Fuji-san right there. There was a big ass bug. That's what that was. God damn. So yes, that's Fuji-san. So this is the Sagami Bay. That's Fuji-san. That's Enoshima Island right there. And this is right here. That is Zushi. That is my town. And then just back this way is Kamakura. And I recently found out Bird was a big talker and backed it up. Man, that's one thing I love about Larry Bird, man. Larry Bird's talk on the court is stuff of legend. You can just go through and just find people talking about Bird, talking smack is a beautiful thing. And the boy backed it up. He could shoot, he could pass, he could dribble. Bird was that dude, man. I love Larry Bird. That whole Magic Bird era was a beautiful thing. There's no way I'm putting LeBron anywhere in any of my top 5s. It's never gonna happen. I understand why people would put him there, but I can't do it. Never. He would never be in my small forward. Never ever. And I know there's somebody I'm missing that could have gone in that small forward above him, and I'm probably missing somebody that's just as good as Bird, but I don't know. Off the top of my head, Bird is it, man. So we've been talking about the wife and I, like, what we're gonna do, like if it's time to leave this spot, because we got like another year on our contract out here, and I really don't want to leave. And look at this behind me right now. Why would I want to leave this, man? This is absolutely the best place in the world to smoke cigars. I can sit here and talk to y'all for hours. It's already been 43 minutes, man. I can just sit here and I can just kick back and put my little Edison lights up. The city of Zushi lights up behind me. And Enoshima got the lighthouse right there. You see that? And I get to sit here and watch Fuji all year round. Like, I don't know how I'm going to leave this, man. So we talking about other places in Japan where we might go. And we might go much further south. And it's going to be a lot closer to South Korea. Excuse me. Pardon the burp on this, but my thing, man, is just like, I don't want to leave this area, man. This is just such a great place to be. I spend the day on the beach. I walk through these woods that are right here, and me and the kids just walk through these woods. It's about maybe a 10, 15-minute walk, and there's an old burial ground that's up here on top of the mountain, all the way up here, and it's all these ancient artifacts and temples that are through there, and you can just walk through. And just, it spits you out in different areas in Zushi and Hayama. And it spits you out. There's a Domino's pizza right at the end. There's like a little coffee shop that's down there. And then you just get to the beach. It's a convenience store down there. Like, how do you leave that, man? It's a tough thing to leave. The view is just only a part of it, AW. It's a beautiful thing, man. And I'm grateful to be able to be here. If I turn this around, check this out. You guys could probably see the moon right there. Like, so I don't know, man. I don't know what I did to earn this, but I just give thanks, man. I give thanks to y'all. Japan got to be one of the best healthcare systems in the world. They do have a good healthcare system, but Japan is interesting as far as some things like technology wise, they're in the future, and some things they're in the past. So sometimes when you go into the hospitals or you go to the dental offices and stuff like that, it looks like it's in the 1990s. It's a weird thing. And sometimes they're like, with the language barrier, like, there's some pros and there's some cons. That's the best way that I can say that, and it's not much better like when we got to deal with the Navy medical care and stuff like that too. I'm civilian. I'm not in the Navy, but it's like I have base access because of the contracts that we have. It's just an interesting thing, man. It's like I don't want to get sick while I'm out here. I know that. I, it's possible that we could leave and come back to the States. It's possible. I don't want to go back to the States right now. Like I'm happy here. My kids are safe. I'm learning a new language, and I get to see like all these different temples and ride the Shinkansen and hop on the Denshas and go on the different trains and go to Kamakura. I was just in Kamakura today. I was just sitting on the beach. Like I got literally everything that I need right here. Except for fast food. That's one thing that I miss. I miss my fast food. Korea is where it's at too. I'm gonna give it Korea, man. The thing is that since we're here, we're trying to get to the Philippines, we're trying to get to Thailand, and we're trying to get to Korea. But it's just like my wife works really hard and works all the time. It's hard to get out and travel like that. But usually when we take leave, we send the kids back to the United States, or we go back and visit our family in the United States. So it's kind of hard to travel to all these other places, but we got to do it before we leave. When you go out to eat, how are the portions compared to the States? When I started traveling, I learned to pack our plates. Yeah, look here, man. It's the Japanese do not eat nearly as much as Americans do. They look at us like we crazy for the amount of food that we eat. Like, so when I go to work, um, one of my coworkers and friends, she's half Japanese, and her mom she makes bento boxes. So the bento is like they give you the rice, and then you got the little spaces where you got like the fermented, bean sprouts, and you might have like a little nub like this of like potato salad, and then it would be like a little piece of spaghetti, and it's like and then they might give you like a little thing of katsu, and that's your whole bento. So I usually got to get two of those to even be close to being satiated. Certain places that you go to, like when you're getting your sushi or you're getting your ramen or whatever, you get one bowl, and you're not gonna spend a lot. It might be like 500 to 600 yen, something like that, and so that's not too crazy, but it's really not a lot of food. I get frustrated like when I go get a steak, and then they give me like a little like 10-ounce steak, and then it's like literally a little piece of broccoli like this big, and then two little slices of potato fingers, and that's the whole meal. And I dropped down there like $30 for that, and I'm like, how do y'all get full off of this? However, you can go out to yakiniku. Yaki is grilled, niku is meat, and it's just grilled meat. So you go out to a premium yakiniku spot, and they give you 90 minutes. I think for the whole family, we might spend less than $100, and it's all you can eat. And it could be Wagyu, or it could be different cuts of meat. Not necessarily Kobe, but you're getting premium cuts. You get skirt steak, you get ribeye, you get top loin, you get pretty much your choice of meat, whatever. And you get ribs, and you slice it up and you cook it up for yourself. And we always come out of there stuffed. So there's a way that you can actually eat. What about the salaryman? I expect for them to have plenty on the food, on their stomach, with the amount of alcohol they drink. But those salarymen, they get down. I can't front. Them boys get busy. They leave work, man, and go straight to the izakaya. And I love seeing them cats, man, because they funny. And the thing, so usually you can go and you get a decent pizza, but the pizzas aren't going to be very big, like that Domino's that I was just telling y'all about. I'm trying to keep this lit. Sorry, but usually, man, like if we go to get Domino's pizza, for us to eat a decent amount, it's almost like $60 to eat Domino's, and those pizzas are like this big. No exaggeration. Like that's the whole pizza, and that might be a medium to a large. And I'm like, what? And then they give you like a New York style, and then you get like a normal size pizza. That's gonna be damn near $25 by itself. It's crazy. Um, but if you go to the izakayas and you go to the bars and stuff like that, they have like the different bar food. They usually have pizza and the whole nine. So I mean, you can eat pretty good. So they give you enough to like kind of fill yourself up with beer. But you got to think about it, like genetically, with with the rice and the pasta and stuff that they eat like that, or the noodles and all that. They don't eat the same way that Americans eat. So they eat enough that they can kind of soak all of that kind of stuff up, just based on their body chemistry and stuff like that. For me, I got to go out and make my way to Shake Shack or find a Mickey D's or go to Yakiniku and stuff my face before I go out. I don't drink though, so I don't really got to worry about that too much. All right, y'all. I'm getting off, man. Hey, Cal, appreciate you joining in. Always, it's always love. So it said, when you were in Fresno, did you have Me and Ed's Pizza? That was my favorite spot out there. Yeah, I did go to Me and Ed's, man. What was the other spot that I went to, too? It was another spot, man. I did go to Me and Ed's. Me and Ed's you can find just about everywhere. So I did do that. When I lived on Shields, Me and Ed's was close to me. So I went there. God, man, I'm starting to forget, man. It was another spot that I used to go to out there. Messi, shouts out for the love, man. um, God, dang. I found like I had my pizza spots. Like, so that's my thing, man. I'm so American that like I gotta have my burger spots and I gotta have my pizza spots. There was a Pizza Hut that was close by. We only got that because it was like a delivery joint, but it wasn't really the best. I can't remember the name of the spot that I used to go to out there. I did have my little pizza spots out there. Me and Ness is one of them, though. That's funny that you said that. If you know some spots off the top of your head, throw out some of the names, and it might come back to me. I know you have to miss good old Southern barbecue. That is a thing that I miss, man. Because okay, so here's the deal. I'm North Carolinian and Virginia all day, so our barbecue is a lot different than what you would get in Memphis, than what you're gonna get in Texas, and what you're gonna get in Kansas City. Our stuff is vinegar based. So when I do barbecue out here for people, they really have no concept of what I'm doing. Like when I get my barbecue, and so what we did, we would take the whole pork, the whole animal, and we would roast that joint low and slow, and then we take all the bones out and we chop that whole bad boy up, and then we put our red pepper flakes in there. You put your cider vinegar, and you get your brown sugar rub and all that kind of stuff like that, and that's how we made barbecue. So our chopped barbecue is completely different. So most people, if you're not from North Carolina, especially Eastern North Carolina, like that is like foreign to you. Like it's like what. So when I make barbecue, people don't know what they're doing. We put our coleslaw on top, and then we get our baked beans, and that's how we do barbecue. And we might have our collards to go with it or something like that, but that's strange for people. So I love that vinegar based sauce on pork. Yo, it's fantastic, man. The Chicos. I went to the Chicos. I didn't like the Chicos, so no, it wasn't like. I know I ate there a few times, but I didn't really like the Chicos like that. I'm like, yeah, it's amazing. The Chicos is a spot like we would go to, like when companies would go together and everybody would go. Like I didn't like the Chicos. It's funny that you remember that, man. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan. And he said I ain't like it either. Like I didn't rock with the Chicos like that. Me and Ed's is probably the better one. But this was like a little mom and pop spot that was down the street from Me and Ed's that I used to go to. What was it? What was the cross street, man? I can't remember. Like my memory is fading, man. Like I told you I hated Fresno, so I blocked a lot of Fresno out of my mind. God damn, these bugs is crazy. Anyway, back to the barbecue though. The thing about barbecue is like there's some spaces out here that can do decent barbecue. And what's interesting is like you always have expats that are all over Japan. So if you go to the right spot, like there's this place called in Tokyo called Smokehouse. Was it Sam's Deli? I think it was Sam's, man. I think it was. I think that's the spot. It had like an old Italian cat up there, something like that. Like you know, the stereotypical Italian cat. I think it was Sam's. You might be on it right there, man. But anyway, like there's a place called yeah, it was Sam's there. My man. Um, there was a place called a Smokehouse. They had fantastic barbecue, and they did just about every style of barbecue you think of. So you guys ever get to know, it's in the Minoto Shibuya area. It's between Minoto and Shibuya, and they got some banging barbecue. So I was able to kind of satiate my need for barbecue with that spot. I almost went there the other weekend, last weekend. So it's early morning for you guys. What are y'all gonna spark up, man? If y'all are out here hanging out with me, man, y'all watching the sunset. Y'all got to see Fuji for a minute. Now y'all get to see Zushi all lit up. What are y'all smoking on while y'all hanging out with me for this hour? I didn't think I was gonna get this many people on doing a live, man. But when it comes around, I'm probably gonna be doing a lot more of these just because I can actually monetize doing the lives, and not like I can put ads up there, but we can do the super chats and all that kind of stuff. So that's a way to kind of keep the channel rolling a little bit. I was kind of getting disenfranchised. You know, I was talking with the fellas on the New Wave live. Did y'all check that out? Did y'all stay for the New Wave? We stayed on for like 3 hours, man. We had a pretty good conversation there. Talked about some pretty fly stuff. But you know, Michael put us on that, like, you know, we can kind of start monetizing the channels a little bit, and then you know they're not gonna take us away. Speaking of, I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit. Did y'all see what happened with what's the guy's name? Cigar Prop. Messi. It's on it's IKILAN at Cash App. You ain't got to do that, man. I appreciate you, man. You know, or either do that or Patreon, but don't worry about that, man. It's just like when it's time, I'll be doing the lives, man, so we can do it that way. Just hang out with me. But did y'all see what happened with Cigar Prop? They kicked him off TikTok. That's a kind of interesting thing, man. I know he's going up there, but we got so many people that's doing cigar content. Why they get rid of him? I don't think they got rid of him, or my man. I don't think they got rid of him on YouTube. They kicked him off of YouTube too. But the reason why they did it on YouTube is because we cannot link to any cigar pages or anywhere where you can buy cigars. So everybody that got purged off of YouTube during that time frame, that is why. They were like, hey, you can buy cigars here at Monte Fortuna, or you can go here and da 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 da. That is against their rules. So as long as we're not doing that, the only thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start printing out my shirts. I don't know if I'm gonna go through like what's that joint, man? Teespring or whatever. I'm trying to get merch just because I like buying merch. So, and I created this brand, so why not be able to get that out there? It'd be dope to be walking around Japan somewhere and see somebody with a vintage cigar shirt. That would be dope to me. That would make my day. That would just the fact that somebody like is rocking my brand would be crazy to me. Like I never thought that would ever be a thing. So that would be dope. But the issue when people were actually selling cigars and linking to cigars, I'm actually surprised that they haven't like cut my cigar of the month joints because of that same thing. I don't think because I ever link it to there. I just tell people, pretty much what's up, and they can go check for themselves. But anytime that people are linking like that, they're gone, bro. And so I'm assuming he was doing the same thing on TikTok. And yeah, I know that cat, like everything he's doing is like basically to sell something or try to get connected with somebody. So I think they was like, yo, we got to get this dude out the paint. But maybe y'all know more than I do. Are y'all in the luxury watches? I learned so much, working towards an Omega Seamaster. I'm horrible with watches, dude. I'm terrible with watches. My brother has gotten me a watch. My wife has gotten me a watch. My father-in-law has got me a watch. I got these Bonchon bands. I can't keep up with a watch to save my life, man. I appreciate the design of a timepiece. I appreciate the mechanics of a timepiece. I appreciate, as far as with fashion, how you can make fashion statements with a timepiece. I'm terrible with keeping up with that type of thing. I'm horrible at that. Like I don't use a watch for time. So I'd never think about when I wake up, I got to put on my watch. And it always bothered me because I love Malcolm X. And Malcolm X said never to trust a man without a watch. And that always hurt my feelings because I can't keep up. Like, I understand, Muellers, and I understand Audemars and all that kind of stuff. Like, I get it. Rolex and da-da-da-da-da. I get the significance behind it, especially for a collector brain. Like, I understand that. Especially for somebody that's into fashion and into unique pieces and into creativity and craftsmanship. I'm just bad at watches, bro. That's just me. And I understand. That might be a thing that you should do, a YouTube page. I don't know anybody that's really like going ham on YouTube with watches. That might be a thing that you can just get off on, because it really is a fascinating thing. I'm just bad at it. By the way, I'm smoking the second half of this Cohiba Serie M and then the Opus X Destino. Oh, man, you going hard this morning. That's what's up. I wasn't really a big fan of that Serie M. I got some more down there. I'm going to try it again. And I'm really a proponent on, if I'm not really feeling a cigar, I want to do that again. And I think I mentioned to y'all, that's one thing that I want to talk about on my podcast. It's just don't pan a cigar after you didn't like it the first or the second time. Give it some time to grow with it. But I don't know, man. But that Siglo, man, enjoy that. That Siglo is money. And Jerome, I think about that was a different time for Brother Malcolm because we didn't have, a computer in your pocket that keeps time and with different time zones and all that kind of stuff. I understand that. And I thought about that. But at the same time, man, it just kind of felt like, I wasn't doing something right, man, because I love Malcolm, Muhammad Ali, and Bruce Lee. Those are like my idols. They were my fathers when I was growing up because I didn't really have a father. So that's the dude that I kind of base my mindset on, and I kind of based how to approach being, a black man in America. Like that shit was major to me. So Malcolm hit me in the stomach when he said that one, dude. But you're right, it is a different time. Cohiba Serie M for me are decent, but they are not worth $30 a stick. Honestly, Jerome, if that wasn't given to me in a bomb, shouts out to my man Kendall. If I didn't get those cigars in a bomb, I would never get them. Even when I was doing it for the review channels and all that, when I was focusing on the review, I wanted to have it because it was necessary for the community to understand that cigar, especially when you're thinking about Cuban Cohiba and the state of New World Cohibas and this huge general cigar market and all that kind of thing, and out to this and all that kind of stuff. It needed to be addressed and it needed to be talked about. But I wasn't going to go out of my way to spend $30 on that cigar. I went back and forth. It's like, yo, do I really want to spend my money on this? And I told y'all, for me to be at a level to want to spend $30 for a cigar, you got to be at the eye of the shark level. And that Cohiba is definitely not that. That cigar shouldn't be more than $10, honestly. I don't think it's worth more than that. I mean, they put a lot into the packaging and the branding and all that kind of stuff, but that's not the cigar. I'm not smoking that box. I'm not smoking that band. You can miss me with that. But I wanted to support that cigar, but it wasn't something I was doing. I wanted to go to with that. Have you seen the Cohiba Spectres? Yeah, I have, $100, and I've seen them. I ain't smoked it, and that's the thing behind it, man. It's like I know what they were trying to do, and I know they're trying to beef up the market, and they're trying to get, like I was talking about this before. You got the whole concept with the collectors, and just like we were talking about with the watches, the shoe culture, sneaker culture. You know, everybody's into collecting right now, and cigars are no different. Cigars have become pretty much a collector's item. People get these cigars and they age them for however many years that they're going to age them, and they can show that they got, this cigar. That Spectre was supposed to fit into that same mindset, that you get this $100 cigar and it's a status symbol. I kind of left that whole idea behind the status symbol thing behind. Like when I come up here and I'm talking to you guys, like I'm talking one about the community aspect of the cigars. Me and BJ go back and forth all the time, talking about the brother of the leaf thing, where you kind of feel like, is that a real thing within the community? Well, I'm trying to make it a real thing. I'm really trying to be here to be, to fellowship and to chop it up with you guys. That was my favorite thing back when I was in Fresno. One thing that I did like was, being able to go into Cigars Limited, or I could go to Cigars Masfino, or I could go to, what was the other joint that I used to go to? It was another joint that I used to go to. And I could just sit in there and just chop it up with people and enjoy cigars and just kick back. And I don't get to do that here in Japan as much. I can't speak the language very well, and the cigar lounges are completely different. So that's what YouTube is all about. But the other thing is, like, when I'm talking to you guys, I'm giving you guys flavor notes, and I'm giving you different options and which cigars to buy and how to buy them, because the whole thing is like, you smoke your cigars. When I do the show, smoke your best cigars. It's like, yo, don't just let them sit in your humidor. Enjoy them. So what's the point of getting $100 cigar if you get $100 cigar, you're not gonna enjoy it? Like, really, what's the point in that? Ain't no way I'm paying triple digits for a non-Cuban Cohiba. But shout out to Sean Williams. Like, yeah, and I want to show love. And that's what I was saying before. I want to support Sean, and I like the way the brother carries himself. And that's major to me. I want to be behind them, and I understand the business side of it. I get the business of it, but it's not just the business, because the other side to the business is the consumer, right? And what's the point if you're not consuming the cigar? And I'm gonna do a whole show on Cubans. I'm working on that now. And when I get time, I'm thinking I'm going to take some time off so I can focus on these two channels. But the main thing is, like, when you're talking about being there on the consumer end, and you're getting these, Cuban cigars and all that kind of stuff, I want to demystify the Cuban. Because I don't even think it's worth it to pay that much for a Cuban cigar. The only thing that's going to set you apart with the Cuban cigars, yes, it's going to be a flavor profile that you're not going to get with other cigars. But it's not like a mystical man that's like on top of this mountain over here that's rolling these cigars for you. You can still get, plenty of pleasure out of smoking the cigars. You can go and get a SP 1014 for $6 to $10 and enjoy that cigar, right? So why would I be concerned about whether I'm gonna, spend, $100 on a Cuban? By the time you get enough Cubans in your humidor and you smoke enough Cubans, you're gonna be like, all right, cool. I've had it. I've done it. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I love a Monte Cristo number 2? Absolutely. If I could make like just my top 10 list of my all-time favorite cigars, there's a very high chance that Monte Cristo number 2 is going to be in my top 10 all-time cigars. But am I going to go out of my way to get a Cohiba, Behike, just because they're saying it's worth $50 or $100? No, it's not worth it to me. It's not going to give me more pleasure that I spent that much money. And I'm not the type of brother that's going to be like, yo, I'm stunting on y'all, or I'm the best cigar reviewer out here because I've smoked this $100 cigar and you didn't. As much as I love Dumb Button, Tobacco, and Trust, I love what Steve Saka is doing. I want those unicorns. up there with the shark vitola. That unicorn vitola might be one of my all-time favorites with the Lonsdale. It might be, 1A and 1B, or number two, 2A, 2B, whatever the case may be. But I'm not giving that man $100 for that cigar. He might watch this and laugh at me, and he would probably never send me that cigar. I've been asking him, honestly. I've asked him, like, hey, can you send me that cigar for review? But I'm not going to spend that. I don't think it's worth it. My biggest beef, no wagyu, nice pun there, is the fact that with these price hikes on Cubans, the QC has either plateaued or gone down. Right. Just think about it with the way Cuba is run, though. Even if they're getting those price hikes, with all the stuff that they got with the embargo and all the stuff that Cuba has going on, they're not going to be able to pay, their workers, what they really need, even with that price hike. So their conditions aren't going to change. It's going to take decades for them to really get into a place where they're really making money off tourism, where they're really making money off of the cigar industry, to really put back into their tabacaleras and the people to roll them. And they're also going to be set in their ways as far as their standards of how they're making cigars. And with us being the consumer, paying for those cigars regardless, why do they need to change? The only thing that's going to take them out is, with that price hike, if we keep our dollars from Cubans and actually put it into these New World cigars, and we're buying from Honduras, we're buying from Ecuador, we're buying from Nicaragua, we're buying from Dominican, and we're buying from these American leaves that are growing in popularity right now, then they're going to say, okay, we need to go back to a more reasonable price, or we need to change what we're doing so that we can compete. Because after a while, that mysticism for Cuban cigars is going to disappear. It's not going to be able to last forever. This new generation of cigar smokers, they're growing up on Steve Saka, Nick Melillo, Eric Espinoza, and, E.P. Carrillo, and so on and so forth. Arturo Fuente, Rafael Nadal. These are going to be the names that they know as blenders. And then you're going to have Sebastian and Pete Johnson and all of these different cats who are going to be the new. And they're going to be the old heads in the game now. And, you're not going to care at all about Cubans unless they make a change. So, I don't know, that's a whole fascinating thing. And honestly, I'm sitting back and I'm waiting to see how this is going to change the market and how this is going to affect, Cuban cigars down the line. Will their quality control, grow? Will they get better? Will they get smarter about it? I don't know. I'm just kind of like forecasting, just trying to see how this whole ecosystem is going to be affected, and the economy is going to be affected. It's going to be an interesting thing, but you got to think about this new generation. It's going to really, really affect the Cuban brand. I want to go to a cigar factory and watch the assembly line. I do want to see that too. I don't know how that's going to work out. I thought it was kind of cool that Lee Mack, when he was releasing his cigar, that he got time to spend down there and go into some of the tabacaleras and the factories and see how the cigars are being made. That's something I would want to do just for my own personal edification. And if I could do it for a show to kind of see how that whole process worked. I don't want to do it just as a show though. I really want to see like the nuts and bolts of it. I reached out to a couple people, trying to like say, hey, look, man, I'll intern and I will work for you guys just because I want to see the ins and outs of the business. I don't know if it's something I want to get into long term. I don't know if it's not, but my whole thing when I became a butcher is like I got into this field because I was curious about culinary arts and I was curious about the craftsmanship of being a butcher, and I caught on to it, and it was a natural thing. I wonder if I could roll. I wonder if I could blend. And we were talking with the New Wave fellas, and I think it was on the last live that someone was bringing it up that like maybe we should be working on the blend. If I could get my foot in the door to do it, I would do it, and I would go all in. But there's a lot of gatekeepers, and usually, nothing moves without the money. What Rakim say? Ain't nothing funny. Still doesn't move but the money. And it's one of those things, man. It's just like, not just in the concept of a stick up, it's also in the concept of when you're thinking about how you get introduced to anything, you got to put the money on the table. And you got to be able to put the money there because nobody's going to just invite you in, whether just because you're some dude who is talking cigars on your YouTube channel. You know what I mean? You really got to be able to make a splash, and you got to pay your way in, and you got to get past all the gatekeepers, or you got to rub shoulders, and you got to make connections. I'm all the way out here in Japan. Just ask myself, my bad. But I knew that shit was coming. But the fascinating thing about that is, man, it's just like, I think about that all the time. You never know what the future will hold. You never know, like, how it'll, how things will work out. You never know the connections you might make. I wish I was able to get the PCA right now so I could rub shoulders with some people. I know people in the industry know who I am. I know for sure John Huber knows who I am. I know Matt Booth knows who I am. I know Steve Saka knows who I am. I know E.P. Carrillo knows who I am. They know I exist. Carlito even knows that I exist. But I'm still just a talking head. I'm still a dude with just barely 3,000, I'm just under 3,000 subscribers. And I'm